guys, let's see what we got. 13.35 volts, 3.4, 2 amps coming in. It's pretty windy out. Up here, the controller is saying the battery is at 11.3 volts. Now that's interesting because the battery is not even hooked up. Off. You can see that? So it's reading the battery way back at the other end of the trailer that's hooked up to the wind turbine. Now, one thing I gotta say, I gotta have Stu, High-Tech Guy 18's mastermind on this deal. So, Stu, these two connections come off the load side of the PWM that's attached to the wind turbine battery. So I figured if we send that power through the solar of the MPPT, it will then clean it up and send it into the lithium batteries down there. However, it doesn't work like that, and I wonder if you can help me out to figure out how we can make that work so we can actually utilize the wind turbine battery to help charge up the lithiums. Now, another thing I noticed, when I stayed over here, guys, I didn't have power for television for some reason. Now, there's something seriously wrong with that because, guess what? I'm on 2 batteries now instead of 1. One battery I could go through the entire night, 24 hours with the TV. I hooked up battery number 2, but when doing so, I also hooked up all this stuff in here, which is a mess. So we have a little cigarette plug, we got everything going into the fuse block, and we got this master mess down here. Notice how nothing's powered up because I have it shut off. Now when I turn it on, when I turn this switch on, okay, there is some kind of issue where there's a short because it's draining my batteries down very rapidly. We gotta find that short. Now, right now, this guy is also off. So if I turn him on, the short could be down there as well because, guys, this is off. And remember, I ran those lines down here through the ceiling that were still up in the ceiling. And they go right to this switch here, which powers a little mini bus bar up here. Now, the only thing that could possibly, I think, is possibly shorting is this. I'll show you. Pull this out. Look at this. This thing is cracked and possibly shorting. I don't know. Anybody know? Let me know. I'll leave it disconnected to see if the shorting has subsided. But it is on, as you can see. And that's what I need the master guy, Stu, High-Tech Guy 18, to give me the solar knowledge and wind turbine knowledge of how to fix this deal. So I don't know exactly where the short is, but I know when I activate. Now this switch activates everything on this bus bar, which then powers everything in the tiny house. However, I put a switch in here, which was smart because that cuts off and isolates all this stuff here. But back down there is still operational because it's on this separate line here, this black line and this red line, and it's tied right in back here to the bus bar. So with this being on, the power of all that stuff is still going on back there. It's not here because the switch is off, but I shouldn't be running out of juice. There's some type of dead short somewhere, and we got to find it, get rid of it, and that way I can use my wonderful off-grid system again. Now, I got to show you temps, times, dates, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and get into it. There's temperatures, times, days, all that good stuff. Alrighty guys, so now that we're back at the off-grid tiny house, I'm caught up for work for now, so I got a little bit of time. Today, we got to figure out barrel stove action time. Now, what I'm thinking about I'm thinking about getting rid of this entire thing here, piece of crap, and I still have to mount the cement board to the wall back here, so I got to move everything you see out of here, shoot the wall board in, and then put the floorboard down, cement board as well, and then put the stove on top, and then try to line it up, tie in my flue connections, and once that's done, then I have to go home, collect the sand that I got for free, and then I need to shovel it into the barrel stove, 2 inches of sand in the bottom of the barrel. And then I could do a very first test burn off. However, since it's probably going to work very, very well, I'm going to have to open all the windows and doors in here and cook myself out alive in the middle of summer, right? So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll be back just a bit. Alright, before I get to work on the barrel stove, guys, just want to give you a little rain harvesting update. Got a decent amount, 2-3 inch in there in the bottom of my IBC tote, and here's my reservoir gravity feed of remaining water. Only used a tad bit, that much since I've been here, so yeah. What was that? Anyways, that threw me right off. Oh yeah, got a couple of tanks so that when I do stay over again, and I disconnected my gas work here, so all I'm going to be doing is twisting those bottles on and running this guy direct from here on out, because this does not work. What really is going to end up happening is I'm going to get sick of buying those expensive propane cylinders. And yes, I have bought the attachment to refill those tanks. It does not work, for whatever reason. Now, eventually though, you guys already heard my resolution for this. I will be getting, in the future, an on-demand that I'll have to plumb in and run it direct off one regulator, not two, because that's about the only way you're going to be able to do this. Running gas through two regulators? No way. Not a thing. Not a thing to do. So anyways, let's check out how we're doing. No real change, and that's with this being on. Now, what I can do is possibly plug in that cigarette plug that's been shorting, just to see if that is going to be the issue or not of a drain down. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, just so we know if that's the actual culprit that is shorting. Because if it is, then it's an easy fix. I just leave it disconnected. However, that cigarette plug, guys, the one that was split that I showed you earlier, we're going to go plug that in live on camera. And yeah, it's got to. If it's the culprit, we're going to find out shortly, because once I plug it in, we'll start dropping some heavy voltage here. So, it's plugged in, I hope. Let's go up here. Yeah, see? When it does that, it means it's charging. Now, the interesting part about that is that battery should be charged back there in the Aqua Cube. So if I monitor back here at my main station and see any difference, you guys hear the wind out there? Holy Christ. I don't see any difference actually there, but it may take a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start moving some stuff, getting some construction done, and go from there. What the hell is that noise? Must be my door that I got attached outside here because of the wind. But you guys can see from here now, there's the wood stove, or the new barrel stove attachment there. So I'm gonna get to work on that. Be back.